Okay, everyone, welcome to video 3. I'm Julie from A Clear Sign. Okay, so let's talk about repetition. What happens when events show up in your life over and over, or circumstances that are so similar it kind of feels like you did something to someone, you didn't maybe even mean to do it or know you did it, but then wham, it comes back and slaps you in the face, and you say, well, what did I do to deserve that? And you go, oh, wait a second, I think maybe I just did that to someone. Oops. So, um, you know, it's kind of funny. A lot of people put themselves out there as authorities, and you know, I guess you find the people that you need to find when you need to find them. And I would just caution you to be careful that you're an energetic match. Like, for example, yes, I am working on coming out with my own intuitive development course, and it will be a match for some people, but it won't be a match for everyone. In fact, I couldn't possibly handle everyone who needs intuitive development or wants it in the world. There are lots of people who have courses out there. So, when something happens for you, just make a judgment as to how you're energetically aligned with it. Does it make sense? Does it feel good? Does it feel authentic? Because if you feel like someone's trying to, I want to say, like, sell you something, I mean, obviously there are products, you buy them and you want them and they work for you, and that's great. But energetically sell you something that doesn't quite feel right for you, that's off. And you really need to pay attention, because I promise, if you do go ahead in spite of like a gut feeling that it's not for you, it's not for you. So let's talk about like the repetition and how that kind of shows up. You might find that you're looking at a course and you see that you did a little research, and maybe there are like 10 people out there who have the course, and somebody just feels right to you. Go with that one person who feels right to you. It doesn't have to be a friend. It doesn't have to be somebody you have a ton of experience with, because I promise, like, spirit will bring you who you need to be brought to, and you will get like the lessons you need. And sometimes somebody might really gel for you and feel right for you for a while, and then they don't. And maybe you come back to them, maybe you don't. But there are times when you need that kind of different energy. I'll give you a quick for instance. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine who I really love dearly had somebody on his show. He's a fellow intuitive. He's a somewhat of a blogger as well. And I felt like I wanted to engage with his guest. And when I did, I made the error maybe of kind of miscommunicating with that person, saying like I might want to engage more with them, to hire them to do a reading. And they said, sure, you let me know. And then they went ahead and did it and sent me a bill, and I had it by the next morning. And when I read it, I honestly was not 100% sure, but I kind of felt like I got duped or taken advantage of. And but it was that uncertainty that kind of bothered me about it. And then I felt like I had some maybe confirmation that it wasn't completely legitimate and for me, and maybe I have been taken advantage of a little bit, and I decided to like set my boundary there. Well, sure enough, just yesterday I got an email request from someone, and they said, I would love to pay you for a reading, but it's not really for me. I'm an intuitive, and I was having some trouble with a client of mine where I got information that was completely inaccurate, and I'm wondering like how that could be. Could you, have any insight for me on this? Well, sure. From my point of view, I have a ton of insight on that, because I've been doing a lot of intuitive training for people over the last year or so. It's something that I've kind of been asked to do, in spite of the fact that I'm pretty new to it myself. I haven't been doing it a very, very long time, but I was kind of asked to do it. So I'm headed in that direction, and I thought, let me approach it from that angle. I'm not doing a reading for this person. I'm just going to spend like 10 minutes out of my day, which was crazy busy with like personal things for my family and business unrelated to a clear sign whatsoever, which, all those things take up like 98% of my time. So, sometimes I'm kind of winging it on a clear sign. I love it, but I'm just doing it when I can. Well, I got back like the nastiest series of emails from this person, and I engaged her once, and then I tried to be kind, and then the next time I tried harder to, find the love and be kind, and she just didn't want that. She just wanted to be angry. She just wanted to say, that even though I knew her from no one, I'd never spoken to her before. She's not a reader, she's not a commenter, she's no one that I know, in person, in cyberspace, or otherwise. And she just felt entitled to somehow get a reading without technically ordering one or sending any funds or making herself really clear as to what exactly she wanted. So there's a lesson, actually, I think a lot of lessons in there for her, but there's also a lesson in there for me. How does that relate to the person that I dealt with a couple of weeks back, where I kind of didn't trust her intuitive judgment either, and I really questioned her honesty and methodology? Was that right? You know, I of course like to think I was operating out of um, all that all that is really good and that I can offer, all that I had to offer for someone who wanted to engage me in that way. And a lot of people I know wouldn't have responded at all. Um, so I thought I was doing the right thing, but it really did give me something to think about. So I'm just asking you if there's something like that in your life that pops up, kind of in reverse, kind of coming back at you. What meaning does that have for you?